Good morning. I'm Faye Perry. I'm a personal life coach, and my areas of expertise is I work with emotional intelligence. Oops. Okay, I don't know if you missed that because I think my computer just did something funny, but I'm Faye Perry. I'm a personal life coach, and my areas of expertise are I work with emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is really about managing ourselves. It's about looking within and changing things within ourselves because when we can change what's going on inside of us, then that's when we can really change things about our lives. So it's using our thoughts to manage our feelings is a little bit what I'm going to talk about today. Has anybody been watching the news? Okay, how do you feel after you watch the news? It can be pretty disheartening, can it? I mean, like, there's so much going on. I really try not to watch it very much, but you hear about all these deaths and, everything that's happening with the economy. And you just feel for people who are like losing their jobs. And you know that there's children out there that are probably really in struggling homes right now. There's a lot of people hurting. There's a lot of pain out there. There's a lot of sadness out there. And it's really easy for all of that to, make us feel really negative. It's really easy to get down when we hear all of that. But this is kind of where we have to play a mind game because really getting negative, getting down, it's not going to help any of us. It's not going to help the situation. So we have to use our emotional intelligence, which is being able to manage those thoughts that are going through our heads so that we can change some of our feelings. Because, like I said, being depressed and negative, it's not going to help anybody. So, what is the antidote I'm talking about that we can use to get through this negativity during times of stress and uncertainty? It's gratitude. Okay. It's really easy to have gratitude in life when things are going really, really well. But right now, when things are really tough, I mean, how do we have gratitude when we lose our job or when we're sick or when people are dying or when people are going through so much pain? How do we have gratitude then? Yet, that's one of the times that it's most essential for us to have gratitude because we have to find a way to keep ourselves above water. We have to find a way to keep our mind in a good place so that we can do the best we can with this. When we keep our mind in a better place through gratitude, it will help us to have more hope, to have more resilience, to cope better with getting through this situation. Because our feelings, the way we feel about all of this, are going to follow the way we're thinking about it. Excuse me. How we look at the world through our thoughts affects the way we feel about the world. So our thoughts ultimately lead to our feelings. And when we choose gratitude, we're having a different type of feeling. So gratitude is a choice. And even though there are really a lot of terrible things happening right now, we can still choose to have gratitude. Right now, what's not important is how you look, how you dress, how educated you are. What's important is, how you're thinking. How are you staying positive? And like I said, gratitude is kind of on the top of that list. It's challenging because there's so many things going on, yet learning to notice and appreciate. Whoops, I just saw something that popped up here. Notice and appreciate what's going good in our life, despite everything else that's not going right, is really, really important right now. Yesterday, I talked about some of the benefits of being playful and having happiness and laughter in our life. Really, gratitude will offer some of those same benefits. It helps us to be more optimistic and positive. When we have gratitude thoughts, it releases chemicals and electrical impulses in our body that help us to be more positive. Again, it reduces our stress, just like I talked about yesterday. That when we have negative thoughts, it makes a lot of cortisol running through our body, which actually affects our immune system. Then we can get sick easier. So having gratitude actually is like a psychological and a physical immune booster. Okay, so each day, what we really need to do is notice those small things that we have to be grateful for and consciously choose to be grateful. it is a choice and it can be difficult, but it really is worth the effort. Okay, we can use this crisis to, consciously make sure that we are looking for positive things. And I just have a couple things that you can use, a couple strategies that you can use to, make sure that you have gratitude in your life. And, I'm not trying to say that there's not bad things happening. Life, we have to accept that life, and especially right now with this coronavirus, has a lot of disappointments and setbacks and, pain and suffering and sadness. And yes, that's all there. And I'm not trying to say that we're denying that or not looking at it. But when we focus on what's going well, when we focus on the things that are going good, the things that we can find in our life that are good, that's going to help all of us to stay in a more positive way, which is going to help us to, cope and to get through this. Okay, so one of the first things you can do is for 5 minutes each day, spend time looking for the things you're grateful for. Because the more you practice being grateful, the more easy it's going to just automatically start to come into your life. So if you look in a mirror and you're looking at yourself, what do you usually tend to do? Do you usually tend to see the things that you don't like about yourself or the things you like about yourself? Okay, if you're like most people, you'll notice like, oh, I hate the way my hair looks today, or oh, I don't like these clothes I have on. Okay, those are the things that you'll notice if you're like most people. So instead, I want you to practice gratitude. Notice what you do like. Notice like, oh, I really like my eyes, or no, I really like my ears, or I really like the way my hair looks today. But practice having gratitude when you look in the mirror, because it's so easy for us to just go right to negativity. Okay, when you're in your house, and I know this is true, especially for women, are you looking at things in your house that are messy or that you need to clean? Or do you look in a room and see the things that are wrong with the room? Yeah, we do that a lot. So to practice gratitude, start noticing what's right. Okay, look like, I really like the color of paint in this room, or oh, that little corner right over there, that looks really neat and clean, and I really like the way that corner looks. So notice what's right. I remember one time talking to a lady who I was at her farmyard, and her farmyard was beautiful. She had all these beautiful flowers, and I mean, there were so many gorgeous things. I felt like it was in a park. It was just great, and she couldn't even enjoy any of that because all she noticed was everything that was wrong and everything she needed to do. She noticed all the weeds in the flowers, so she wasn't even enjoying the flowers. She noticed, how imperfect her grass was, so she couldn't even enjoy, all the grass in her yard that was beautiful. It's just a natural tendency for us to look at things that are wrong and to look at the negative side of things, where instead, would it have been more wonderful if she could have looked at that yard and noticed how beautiful those flowers were, noticed how beautiful her green grass looked, instead of seeing all the negativity and imperfections. It doesn't mean the negativity and imperfections aren't there, but we have a choice what we want to focus on. So the first thing with having gratitude is just practice it. Practice looking all around you and finding the good, finding the things that are right instead of focusing on all the things that are wrong. Okay, in a relationship, you can really use gratitude to improve your relationship too, because look for what you like in people. I mean, everybody drives us crazy. Everybody has things we don't care for or that are irritating for us because there's nobody just like us. And we're really the most comfortable with people who are just like us. So what you have to do is, quit focusing on the negatives or what's wrong with people. Start practicing gratitude by noticing everything that's right about them. So say thank you more often. Just saying thank you more often is helping to increase your gratitude because you're thankful. Okay, here's one that I think is really good for all of us, and it's called WWW. Okay, at the end of your day, ask yourself WWW, which is what went well. How often do we lay in our bed at night and we think about everything that went wrong that day, everything we didn't get done, everything we did wrong, what we should have done, everything we said wrong. We repeat conversations that went wrong. Okay, so instead, that's just all of a tendency to be negative. Okay, so instead, go what went well. Okay. And the other thing that you can do is a gratitude board. Have a board, so you've heard of a vision board where people write down things they want. Well, a gratitude board is you just write down everything that you're thankful for. And again, it doesn't mean you're ignoring the terrible. It's just that whatever you focus on affects the way you feel. And the way you feel is going to affect your behavior, and it's going to affect how you get through this whole situation that's going on in the world. So use the power of your mind, to make some of these changes so that, you can have a more positive life with all this going on, because long term, that's what's going to help you, is to be more positive. One more strategy you can use is, we're all washing our hands frequently. Use washing your hands as a cue so that every time you wash your hands, you say some gratitudes like, oh, I'm really thankful for all the nurses and the doctors that are working through this. So I'm really thankful for the workers in the grocery store. I'm really thankful for all the people who are still delivering things to people. I'm really thankful for the pharmacies, and you can go on and on about all the things you're thankful for. Just the more you practice gratitude throughout your day, the better you're going to feel. Because remember, some of the benefits of gratitude are that you're going to decrease your stress. Okay. You're going to sleep better because your mind is going to have things that you're thankful for instead of all those worries and concerns. It's going to improve your health because it's going to increase your immune system. Because when you're not stressed, you're not going to have as much cortisol in your body, which is weakening your immune system. It's going to help your relationships because when you're more positive, relationships go better. And gratitude, there are a lot of research studies that show it can decrease anxiety and depression. So really practice those things that I gave you on having appreciation. Okay, thanks for joining me. And again, if you have any questions or concerns or anything that I can discuss on these videos, I invite you to go to fayeprairie.com/ask Faye anything and share some questions or concerns with me. So go out and practice having gratitude because it will really make a difference in your life. Okay, thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.